Music is a powerful force. It transcends borders. It connects people. Throughout history, music has been an integral part of human expression, from ancient rituals to modern celebrations. Music evokes a wide range of emotions. Think of the joy of a wedding song. Consider the sorrow of a mournful melody. Music mirrors the human experience. In many cultures, music plays a sacred role. It accompanies religious ceremonies. It deepens spiritual connection. Music can be a bridge to the divine. Given its profound impact, it's no surprise that music's place in Islam is a topic of ongoing discussion. Islam, like all religions, grapples with complex questions about human behavior and belief. The permissibility of music is one such question that has generated diverse opinions within Islamic scholarship. While there is no single, universally accepted stance on music in Islam, understanding the different viewpoints requires delving into the religion's primary sources, the Quran and the Hadith. Interpretations of these texts have led to a spectrum of views, ranging from strict prohibition to cautious acceptance. This essay explores the multifaceted debate surrounding music in Islam, examining the arguments and evidence presented by both sides. Ultimately, the goal is to foster a deeper understanding of this complex issue and encourage individual reflection on the role of music in one's spiritual journey. Those who consider music haram or forbidden often base their arguments on interpretations of Islamic texts and concerns about its potential negative effects. Some scholars argue that certain verses in the Quran implicitly condemn music and entertainment. They point to passages that criticize idle pursuits and distractions from God. The Hadith, a collection of the Prophet Muhammad's sayings and actions, also contains narrations that have been interpreted as discouraging musical instruments. Furthermore, some scholars express concern that music can lead to immoral behavior and distract from religious obligations. They argue that certain types of music, particularly those associated with frivolous gatherings, can incite desires that are contrary to Islamic values. The emphasis on God consciousness and spiritual purity leads some to believe that music can hinder one's connection with the divine. One of the primary sources of Islamic law, the Quran, does not explicitly prohibit music. However, some scholars interpret certain verses as evidence against its permissibility. One such verse often cited is from Surah Luqman, verse 6. "And of the people is he who takes diversion in idle talk, to mislead others from the way of Allah without knowledge, and who takes it in ridicule. Those will have a humiliating punishment." Opponents of music argue that idle talk can encompass various forms of entertainment, including music, that distract from the remembrance of God. However, proponents of music counter that this interpretation is overly broad and that the verse refers to harmful speech and actions, not music in general. Section 5. Hadith. Seeking guidance from the Prophet's life. The Hadith, a collection of the Prophet Muhammad's sayings and actions, also plays a significant role in shaping Islamic law and guidance. Several narrations within the Hadith are used to support the argument against music. One such narration states that the Prophet Muhammad said, "There will be people from my ummah or community who will seek to make lawful fornication, silk, alcohol, and musical instruments." This hadith is often interpreted as a clear condemnation of musical instruments. However, scholars who permit music argue that the context of this narration is crucial. They point out that the hadith refers to specific activities alongside musical instruments, suggesting that it is the combination of these activities, rather than music itself, that is deemed inappropriate. Section 6. Voices of dissent. Permissible forms of music. Despite the arguments against music, a significant body of Islamic scholarship permits certain forms of music, particularly those with a strong spiritual or cultural significance. Scholars who hold this view emphasize the importance of context and intention. They argue that music, when used as a means of spiritual reflection, cultural expression, or even entertainment within reasonable bounds, is not inherently haram. For instance, Sufi music, a genre deeply intertwined with Islamic mysticism, is widely accepted and celebrated in many Muslim communities. The rhythmic chants and devotional poetry of Sufi music are seen as a way to connect with the divine and experience spiritual ecstasy. Similarly, traditional Islamic music, often featuring percussion instruments and vocal melodies, is considered permissible by many scholars, particularly during festive occasions and celebrations. Section 7. Modern Muslim Perspectives: Navigating the Digital Age. In today's digital age, where music is readily accessible and deeply integrated into popular culture, Muslims have even more diverse relationships with music. Many Muslims navigate this landscape by drawing on personal interpretations of Islamic teachings, cultural norms, and individual preferences. Some choose to abstain from listening to music altogether, adhering to a strict interpretation of religious guidelines. Others embrace music as a source of enjoyment and inspiration, carefully selecting artists and genres that align with their values. The rise of Muslim musicians and artists who incorporate Islamic themes and values into their work has also contributed to the evolving conversation about music in Islam. Ultimately, many Muslims today believe that the decision of whether or not to listen to music is a matter of personal conscience and interpretation. Section 8. Personal Interpretation and Spiritual Well-Being. The debate surrounding music in Islam highlights the importance of personal interpretation and spiritual well-being within the faith. While Islamic scholars provide guidance based on their understanding of religious texts, individuals are ultimately responsible for making decisions that align with their conscience and relationship with God. The permissibility of music, like many other aspects of Islamic law, often comes down to intention, context, and the potential impact on one's spiritual state. If an individual believes that listening to music hinders their connection with God or leads to behaviors that contradict Islamic values, it is their prerogative to abstain. Conversely, if someone finds that certain types of music enhance their spirituality or provide halal, permissible enjoyment, they may choose to incorporate it into their lives. Section 9. Music and Islam: A Tapestry of Views. The question of whether music is haram in Islam is not easily answered with a simple yes or no. It is a complex issue with a rich history of scholarly debate and a diverse range of contemporary perspectives. Ultimately, the decision of how to approach music within the context of Islam is a personal one, guided by individual interpretation, cultural influences, and a commitment to living a spiritually fulfilling life. As with many aspects of faith, the journey of understanding and navigating the nuances of Islamic teachings is an ongoing process of seeking knowledge, reflecting on one's beliefs, and striving to live in accordance with God's will. The Tapestry of Views on Music in Islam reflects the dynamism and diversity of the Muslim community, reminding us that there are many paths